What's going on? Dave, I know what you're doing to me. I really do know what you're doing to me. After a rough weekend, you decide to drag me on here to do an MLB stream after the Mets get swept. It's a shitty Monday, if you ask me, man. Like, it was terrible. Luckily, I watched some football yesterday, so I didn't watch that. And I had the Sirius show on Saturday, so I didn't watch them lose then. So I didn't see a sweep happening. I was like, all right, we win one, but a sweep to blow the entire season. Your Phillies, it looks like they're gonna make it in, but they were struggling for some bit too. So we're like limping in to the MLB playoffs, but it's playoffs, man. It's October, baseball. We've seen teams from the wild card make it from the spot before. So good luck to you in Philly, and we're gonna need some luck in New York because we look shitty right now.
Yeah, but you got good news. The
What's
Braves
that?
lost the Marlins. Lost.
Oh
40.
yeah, they're gonna get swept by the Marlins, and yeah, the Mets are gonna sweep.
You just need to tie them, right? I think, or did they win the season series now?
I don't even know, but
Yeah.
I think they now hold the tiebreaker. I think we need to go 3-0, and they need to get swept by the Marlins. So hey, one game's down. We got to win a doubleheader tomorrow, both games. I don't know. This shit ain't happening, but let's look forward to Tuesday's slate. Look, one thing I'll say about MLB is this: NFL money is going to be sitting there. People won money on Sunday. People won money on Showdown. People don't want to not play on a Tuesday. So they're going to go out there and play some MLB. And they don't really know the strategy. So when it comes down to it, there is some reason to play MLB DFS in October and last week of the season prior to the playoffs. But Dave, got a question for you, man. You got a guy like Garrett Cole. You got Verlander out here, two playoff-bound pitchers along with Urias. What are you doing with the guys that are pretty much playing some meaningless games? Have you heard pitch counts? Do you know where these guys stand going into the last start of the season?
Yeah, well, it's a different game, right? And what I mean by that is these teams, like the Yankees, like the Astros, have a bye. And they are going to be off for a whole weekend and not ready to go until next Monday, Tuesday after this wild card weekend. And what I'm hearing is they're pitching these guys out. Maybe you won't see 100, 110, but you're going to see 90, which is still valuable with these guys. And especially Cole. When you look at Cole, he's allowed 15 earned runs in his last 4 games. Not great, right? But he's had that Boston menace in there a couple times. He needs to kind of right himself, and Texas is the perfect team for that. They look awful. 27th in K rate, 27th in WOBA, 28th in batting average since September 1st. They were getting no hit by Severino tonight. So I think Cole could be worth his dollar point tomorrow.
Okay, and what about Verlander? What's your thoughts on Verlander? I know he's going against your guys in Philly here, but Verlander, same kind of deal. Are you expecting him to pitch, his typical 90 to 100 pitches, or do you think they throttle him down a little bit older? Really nothing to play for here.
No, I still think he gets his because, if you remember, he was out for a couple of weeks early September. He's only had 3 starts back since then. It's been great, but it went 5 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings. So I do look for him to be in that 6+ range tomorrow. And I do, 1.5 ERA in September, 9-1 at home overall this year. I think, the Phillies, it's weird. Like, their batting average is decent. Their WOBA is decent. But they're 23rd in runs scored since September 1st. And they had one of those 11-run games, another 10-run game. So you can see on those nights they're not putting it all together. They've had trouble putting up more than 1 or 2 runs in games. So I do like Verlander as well. Just can't pair the two together, obviously.
Yeah, so who do you like? You got Gallen. He's playing for himself at this point in time. Yep. Maybe an outside shot at the Cy Young here. Has been impressive all year. Going against Milwaukee, who's fighting as well. Thoughts here on Gallen. Urias in a good spot, but we don't know how long he's going to go in a meaningless game against Colorado. He typically goes 80, 90 pitches. So, like you said, he has a week off. And then it's just a lot of big question marks. On DraftKings, they're not allowing the Mets game, which is a meaningful game, potentially for Taijuan Walker to, score points because they don't know when this game's going to actually start here. So a lot of guys down below that, you really don't get a strong feel on. But do you have a feel on one of these guys that you think can go out there and show up?
I love Gallen. What you said there is spot on. 14 straight starts, 3 earned runs or less, fighting for a potential Cy Young award. He did see Milwaukee once earlier this season, went 7 innings, only allowed 2 hits, no earned runs. That was in the middle of that 40-plus inning shutout streak, had 7 Ks. Milwaukee, really a soft lineup all year. We've seen it 7th in K rate since September 1st. So I do think there's value. Arise, I do think there is as well. Don't get me wrong. 1.03 ERA in his last 10 starts dating back to August 1st. So, I'd like Gallen a little more. And then if we go down just a step further, I think there could be a little value in Giolito. He's actually picked it up. I hate him. I've probably never played him almost all year, but his ERA in September is 3. And then he's pitched okay against Minnesota this year. He's got 20 Ks in 14 innings. So Minnesota kind of rolling out a makeshift lineup. I could see a little value in Giolito when we draw the line around that 8K range.
I went a little farther down the line, went dumpster diving under 7K.
Oh,
I
there's one.
remember early on this year, there was a span where Michael Lorenzen actually looked good. It was really early April, May. Then he struggled. And now when it's non-meaningful baseball, similar to Mike Trout, he goes out there and pitches well for his last 4 starts. He just faced Oakland, 8 Ks, 5 innings, no earned runs, 27 DK points, and he has 4 starts in a row over 10 against Houston, Seattle, Texas, and then, like I said, against Oakland. Oakland's a pitcher's park, 6,800. I think he's the value piece that still has some upside. So I like Lorenzen to pair with either Cole or Verlander or Gallen. That's probably the way I'm going to go here. There's a couple other names that you can maybe throw out there and hope for the best, like a Sean Mania, who's been really awful as of late, and he's got, most likely the Mets in a wild card. So I don't really love that. So that's why I'm with Lorenzen in the best spot. Nobody else is really like, if you want to take a shot on Josh Winder, maybe get you 10, but I wouldn't go there. Mitch White, any love for Mitch White here? Hope that he goes out there. The K's aren't there. So I don't know. I think Lorenzen's the only guy that I'm liking. Anybody else you want to, maybe a Springs here for Tampa Bay, if they allow him to go? He's been getting around 5-6 Ks, ERA's down. Pitch count, we got to watch, but I think Springs and Lorenzen's the only 2 guys I really like under that like 7K or around that 7,500 range. Anybody else you want to mention?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it on the head with Lorenzen. It's not just early in the season. It's anytime he sees the A's. He's 3-0 against them with a 0.5 ERA. So he just eats them up. And you mentioned his last 4 starts. So you combine something that he's done well against one team and then the recency, and that's a perfect kind of DFS mold. So he's there. I will say that, no homerism here, but could see a little Ranger Suarez. He's been good. 12 of his last 13 starts, 3 earned runs or less. He's better on the road. 2.69 ERA, 6-2. Houston's always tough, but the good thing about Suarez, you're going to get low ownership. So I could see myself maybe getting a couple shares of him. But that's probably where I draw my line. I think Irvin's a little bit in play, but he is 0-4 against Angels this year. But his ERA is 3. So the Angels aren't great, but I think I'd rather pay for Lorenzen instead and punt Irvin.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Lorenzen and Springs are the 2 guys that I'll go 7,400 and under. No thanks on Mania or Winder. You got Feltner now going against the Dodgers. You got Bauman going against Toronto. Those should be probably your top 2 stacks, I would believe. Maybe mix in a Baltimore stack. They're out of it, but they're going against Mitch White, who's really struggled to get out of 3 or 4 innings. He's not going to pitch long in this game as well. So it's going to be Toronto bullpen, which they're probably, best bet would they be, saving their better relievers for the rest of this week, keeping everybody in line for some tough starts in this wild card. So thoughts here, Toronto, Baltimore, the Dodgers. Is that what you're looking at? Do you want to potentially go somewhere sneakier, up top against one of these better pitchers? What are you thinking on the stacks?
No, I like where you're at. I think I like Baltimore a lot. Mitch White pitched against them once, let up 5 earned runs in less than 3 innings. Like you said, a guy that really lacks K potential. Baltimore wants to end the season on a high note, maybe at least get 1 in this series. In the Toronto-Baltimore series, I think I've been tracking something about 70% of the games they've played this year have been going over the total. So something I really like in that game. So I would look at a game stack. I think you hit it on the head as well to look at Toronto. Vlad Guerrero went deep tonight once again against the Baltimore pitcher going tonight, not Voth, but it'll come to me. But Kramer it was. So I like that stack. I'm going to look at the White Sox a little bit. I just don't like Winder right now. I think he's just kind of fading. And the White Sox have hit the ball hard in September. Jimenez, Moncada, Robert, they're all back. So I might like them a little bit as well.
Yeah, Dodgers always in play every single slate. You don't really got to talk them up. We know how good they are. It's going to be scary now. The Mets, if they get past San Diego, they're going to go take out the Behemoth and the Dodgers. We'll see how that plays out. But Dodgers, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, all the guys. See, they have been throwing out some cheaper value guys. So check out the lineup. They might have some spot starters there. Muncy should be okay, but they've been rolling out some value plays pretty much every single night, like Vargas can slide in there. He's hit one home run. He can maybe pop another one. He's 2,500, hitting in the middle of the lineup. See who they start and see if you can get some value out of them. Maybe Alberto might start with Chris Taylor day to day. He's been getting some spot starts too. Trace Thompson's been hitting. Callow, crazy stat. Like I saw someone posted the other day, only like his third sack fly of his career, like something ridiculous like that. Like it doesn't even make sense how you can potentially do that. But that guy has got one of the craziest career stat lines in the world. Like if you want to pull it up right now, if you just read, like he's got more Ks than hits. He's got more, I think, doubles or home runs than singles. Like he just Ks, home runs, or doubles. And I think yesterday was like his third sack fly ever. Pretty nuts.
Oh man, I believe it. The guy is just. I mean, he shouldn't probably be in the league, but the Dodgers somehow he puts on that blue and performs a little bit for him. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So Dodgers in play. Like you said, there are some other spots here where it looks like Rodon, there's potential he does not go on Tuesday. So if he doesn't go, San Diego, maybe a spot starter at home, late call up. We got to see who goes on Tuesday for them. Would not be stacking Milwaukee against Arizona. No Colorado for me. Philly, no thank you against Verlander. Yankees will be in play against Texas and John Gray. John Gray's been good. It's pretty good all year, but probably stay away from there. Yankees haven't been that good, but I think they're in play. Probably going to get lower ownership because you see John Gray there, but Gray struggled in his last start. He struggled in September a bit after having a really good June, July, and August. So I think the Yankees are in play too. If you get some low ownership, see who they roll out there. Because again, they're not really playing for much. So they might get some guys some spot starts. Dave, do you got any home run props for us? Any bets that you like? Have you looked at the upcoming Sunday slate? I survived again. Joel gave me the lock of the century. The Green Bay Packers that had me sweating into OT with that survivor pick. But there looks like to be some nice and easy ones this week. But I just sweat out with the Vikings and the Packers. So guess I'm getting lucky. I don't know.
We had and we got 4 picks left in the fam here, and we had 2 Green Bay, but we had the Chargers and the Eagles as our other. So, oh man, I was kicking myself. We doubled Green Bay, but it did work out. So you're right. You just got to survive, right? Getting lucky is fine. But there are some better matchups coming up this week. I got to double check, but I think we circled
a couple of good spots for a couple of teams that we haven't used. I think Buffalo's in a great spot, if I remember correctly. Your Eagles, decently tough spot. I wouldn't mess with them. There was a couple of teams, I forgot the list, but there was a couple of teams just in a prime spot here that should take off. You have home run props for us. If you don't want to talk home run props, you can talk some who's going to win the World Series props. Now that we kind of have the shakeout of who it is, I can't go with the Mets. I can't go with your Phillies. I don't know who it is at this point. I guess Houston's the favorite right now, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'll throw out 1 or 2 home run props. It was crazy tonight. I played Vlad Guerrero, who had 3 home runs coming in off Kramer. He was plus 700. I've never seen him plus. It must
have been 700.
Yes, plus 700. I jumped all over it.
What?
And
thanks for that text, bro.
Sorry, man.
Appreciate that.
Yo, I'm in the lab just working. My bad.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night, I mean, I'm hope we get a juicy one like that as well. But what I'm looking at is Randy Arozarena. Eovaldi's back. He's had one game back. He kind of he throws hard, but he's all over the place. So I like the Rays. Wander hit one tonight. The Rays hit righties pretty well. Arozarena's had a really good season, so I'm going to look at him for a home run prop. They're still in play for a little bit, so they're going to stack that lineup. And then why not? Let's go with Pujols tomorrow. He hit another one tonight, so why not ride? What's that? 703 now, I think.
Yeah, 703, man. Guy's bowling out of control, man. It's crazy. Kudos to him, man. That's a team that scares me still. Like I'm
Do they?
yeah, because it's the Cardinals, man. Like they'll always scare me because the organization has always played well, and you got the narrative of Pujols and Molina, potentially their last ride, and they're moving. They're moving in the right direction. They got a good clubhouse, good organization, so you can't count them out. Obviously, the Dodgers and Astros are the favorites, but the Dodgers don't scare me as much. I know they got the lineup. Their pitching is not what it was in years past. So I think the Dodgers can be taken out. Mets struggling right now, but they're still obviously in contention with Scherzer and DeGrom. And, some people are trying to stay positive around New York and say, hey, it's better to feel those losses now so you can kind of play up for the playoffs, because if you feel the losses in the playoffs, like you're gone. At least they have a chance to feel it now and kind of regroup and say, hey, they really need Marte back. I think he's like one of the core pieces in the lineup that gets things going. But they got a shot. I don't know who the favorite is right now. I couldn't say there's one team over the other right now. Houston looks like the most complete team with their pitching and their hitting. And they're, for the most part, healthy right now. I'll give you one home run prop going off the board here. Let's go with Christian Walker off of Lauer. Hitter's Park. He's been mashing all year, 36 home runs on the year. Kind of best season of Christian Walker's career here as far as power numbers. So I'll go there. Home run props. That's all I got. World Series. Man, what do you got?
Well,
you go first.
I'll give a long shot. For me, it's the Tampa Bay Rays. The reemergence or addition they got in September of Wander Franco and Tyler Glasnow, who pitched well tonight, really could put that team in the right position. And if they end up playing the Guardians and then go to the Yankees, they're like Yankee killers to me. And I feel like they have the path potentially to be an upset kind of team. And then, as far as, favorites go, I would go the Braves. I'm with you with the Dodgers. There's just something about them. Like when it comes to the postseason, the one time they won, it was COVID. Nobody was there, right?
Yeah. And the Dodgers should be like everybody's favorite, but nobody believes in them, even though their lineup is ridiculous. Like it doesn't really make sense, but I kind of agree with that. I like the Rays call. I think if one team can dethrone the Astros out there, it would be the Rays. I kind of like that call. And then from an NL perspective, I can't say that like the Braves won't ever come out of my mouth. So even though they're probably the best team going in right now, I can't do it, man. So I'll go, and I can't say the Dodgers. My gut saying it's either going to be the Mets or the Cardinals that figure it out and squeak by, and let's hope it's the Mets. Mets, Astros. Let's find a way for the Mets to get it done, but I don't know. I don't think that's the favorite though. I like the Rays call. The underdogs would be Rays, Cardinals. The obvious favorite is Aaron Nola's Aaron Nola's perfect through 6-2 versus Houston right now.
And this is a guy that's not very good in September and probably has heard it a lot. And so tonight is a chance to clinch. They can clinch tonight, and kudos to him. And 72 pitches.
Yeah,
I
so
think
he can make it
up there.
He can make it, man. So hopefully, this was the night where our Aaron Nola goes perfect. Kid's a stud, man. I think you have a nice 1-2 combo with him and Wheeler. Suarez has been pitching better, so that team can start hitting and playing defense and some small ball. You never know, man. They can make a run at this thing too. So good luck to you guys. Eagles look great again. I kind of jabbed Tony a little bit. It was really early. I kind of jabbed him a little bit when you guys went down 14-0. But you guys got a really good defense, good run game. Miles Sanders I took him in one draft in the Series XM League, and he just kept on falling and falling and falling. I'm like, all right, I got to take this guy. I really don't want him, but I got to take it. And It's worked out well so far. How do you hold up in a Win Daily League? Are you surviving or what?
Oh yeah, it should be 3-1, which looks like you'll be 4-0, right?
Yeah, I got the 4-0. Rocker sucks, man. His team's
Yeah.
terrible.
So
That was
I'm up. It's over. I was already up, but Allen Robinson, man, is that one of the worst picks of the draft so far?
Yeah, I really liked him too. That was like one of my calls where it's like de facto wide receiver 2 for the Rams. You would think would go out there and do his thing, but
that's Cup.
yeah,
He's
it's
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Higbee's there too, so Higbee's
Yeah.
definitely involved. So we'll see what happens. Everybody, good luck on a Tuesday. We'll be back hopefully later this week doing some NFL. We have our draft cast. I don't know who won last week, but we'll be back doing that shoe on Tuesday night. We got a PGA draft cast on Wednesday night. Tons of shows for showdowns, college football, NFL. Make sure you lock in with us. Promo code WINBIG at windailysports.com. We are out of here on a Monday.